Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Business Innovators Radio. I am your host, Jerica Glasper, and I am super excited to have on today as a special guest, Marilyn Tarver. She is a realtor here in Dallas, and she is very passionate about helping individuals and families find their perfect home or sell the one that has memories and personal history for them. Throughout her former career, she was a flight attendant for two major carriers for over 10 years, and she's had other various customer-facing positions with Fortune 500 companies, and she has learned the importance of providing an outstanding customer service experience. She has a caring spirit and pours out her joy of helping others every single time she interacts with someone who is either just looking for more information on buying or selling their home, or who is ready to walk with her hand in hand to navigate the home buying or home selling process. So thank you so much for being a guest today. I'm super excited to hear what you have to share with us. So why don't we start off with you telling us a little bit about yourself?
Well, thanks for having me, Jerica. I appreciate it. I'm with a wonderful realty company, Remax, cross country. We're located in Highland Village here in the Dallas Metroplex off of Justin Road. And it's just a wonderful bunch of people, some of the top producers. And I feel privileged to be working around people that are doing such great things in the industry. And I'm just kind of being like a sponge and soaking up everything I can.
Awesome. So you were a flight attendant. So tell us how you went from being a flight attendant to get into the real estate game.
Well, the time between was several years, but I often think about wishing that I had started my realtor career when I was with the airline, because my sphere of influence was much greater than it is now. And of course, I did a lot more socializing, a lot more meeting people, and would have more opportunities to kind of get my face and name out there to people. I've only been a realtor for a short time, but I love it. It's a very interesting career. It's very challenging, and I think I'm going to learn a lot. And the reason I kind of got into this is because as long as God blesses you with your health, you can kind of do this until you get tired. You can do it until you're 80, 85, if you can still move around and take care of your business.
Awesome. I love that. You do have a sweet spirit. I can feel that about you, and I can tell that you are all about being an educator and an advocate for your clients. So anyone looking to buy or sell a home, Marilyn is your person to contact for sure. She's definitely an expert at what she does, and she will make sure that you are comfortable throughout the whole process. So I want to go ahead and dive in and talk a little bit about who you help. Who is the person that usually reaches out to you and becomes a client?
Well, I would really like to talk to first-time home buyers. I think that's a huge step for most people, and I think some people are a little afraid of it. I'd like to encourage also to co-invest, maybe in homes, especially the millennials coming out of college. You're probably going to be in a roommate situation anyway for a while. Why not pull your money together with somebody that you trust and get along with and make that investment together? Both of you have to have some place to live. And when you look at two rents that you're probably going to be paying, you could live in a nice house for maybe less than the both of you would be paying separately for rent. So I do encourage people to think about that. You know, a lot of cultures do that all the time. It's kind of the norm, you know, for them to live with family and that kind of thing. And they pool their money and resources. And that's how they can come over and buy businesses, start businesses and things like that, because they don't mind living together as families. And I think we need to be a little bit more like that. Now, if you're looking to get into a home for the first time, there are some important things that you really, really should know.
Okay, let's talk about that.
The first thing is that you want to definitely get your finances in order. Most people have maybe a few credit issues that they may need to take care of before they actually venture into the home buying process. I would encourage you to get those things taken care of.
So what would that look like? So if I'm 12 months out, which is very realistic for me because I recently engaged and we're looking at buying a home, 12 months out from buying a home, what should I be doing with my finances? What should I be doing with my credit? What should I be doing with my taxes? Or if I have a side business, I know all of that plays a role. I know that's a loaded question, but if you can narrow it down to the top 3 things, what should someone be doing right now in the next 12 months if they want to buy a home?
Sure. The first thing I would say is to start paying down your debt. Start paying your credit card debt down. Put those cards away. Don't charge anything on them. Try to do more than the minimum payment. Don't close the account. Get the accounts, your balance down as low as you can. Try to keep your available balances at 30% or less.
Okay.
As far as what you charge. So try not to charge more than 30% of the available balance. Also, most importantly, do not buy a car. Do not want to buy an automobile if you are looking to purchase a house. You want to wait until after you get in the house. Wait until after closing and then go buy a car. Same thing for furniture. So you don't want to make any major purchases. And I know when you're, in the process of home buying, you're excited. You want to go out and start looking for furniture and buying things. That's the wrong thing to do. You need to leave your money where it is. Also, you have to be concerned. I mean, most people wouldn't think if you make a huge deposit into your account that the banks would really appreciate that or, look at you like, well, this person can get a hold to a certain amount of money, Well, people don't know that in the processing of the loan, if you make any huge deposits, they want you to explain where that money came from. So you have to explain the money trail. So basically, you just want to kind of keep things as quiet as you can. You want to pay your bills definitely on time. You don't want to pay anything late, and you don't want to charge. You want to put yourself on a budget. And certain things, you're going to have to make a sacrifice and say, well, maybe we'll only go to the movie every other month and we'll start cooking and eating in instead of going out and socking that money away for down payment.
Thank you for sharing that. So here in Dallas, I've talked to some realtors and what I'm hearing, and I want to get your opinion on this. What do you foresee in the next year or two in the Dallas market for buying a home, building a home? We have Amazon is here, I think now, and we have all these Fortune 500 companies that are looking to relocate here, and Dallas is booming with the jobs. So is it a buyer's market or is it a seller's market right now in Dallas?
It's actually a seller's market right now.
Explain what that means to us, please.
Yeah, with all the people that are relocating to the Dallas area, it's actually a shortage of homes. Even though all of the building that you see, with all of the people moving in, there is a home shortage. And home prices right now are going up every single day. Dallas is a great market right now for a seller. It's probably going to stay that way for at least a year.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say if you're thinking about buying within the next year or so, probably wouldn't put it off any longer than that because I think housing is probably going to go up at least 10%, at least every year.
All right. So what piece of advice could you give to someone, like the single most important piece of advice for someone that wants to buy a home? And then we'll get into the home selling process because, like you said, it is a seller's market. So what's the most important thing that you want our listeners to know and people that are considering hiring you as their realtor, what should they know? The most important thing about buying a home?
The most important thing would be that you have a pre-approval letter. The pre-approval letter shows the realtor that you have already kind of started the financial process. And what that pre-approval letter is a statement from the bank or the finance company saying, giving you an amount that they think you can afford as far as a house is concerned.
Okay.
That way, You have an idea of what you can afford. The realtor has an idea of what you can afford. And the realtor won't be showing you houses that are priced out of your income. The pre-approval letter goes a long, long way as to saving time and energy.
Awesome. That is great advice. I never knew that. So you want to see that they have been proactive, that they've already researched and they already know what their price range and their budget is. So they're not coming to you like, I just want a house. It's like, okay.
Right. And some people just kind of want to look. They want to get out there and look, and they're really not in the position, or they haven't started the process yet. So they're really wasting your time showing them a house if they haven't been through.
Well, that's good advice. And so let's talk about the sellers here in Dallas. So what are some of the common misconceptions about selling a home here in Dallas? If you're a first-time seller or a repeat seller, what are some of the common misconceptions about that process that you see?
Well, most realtors will tell you, jokingly, but it is the truth, is that everyone thinks they have the best house on the market. Home is a very personal thing, and people put a lot of money, energy, time into getting their homes how they like it, upgrading and remodeling and things like that. So when you sit down with a seller, the first thing you have to come to terms with is, okay, what is the sales price going to be?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the house is very personal to the seller. And of course, they're going to think they have the best house in the neighborhood. But they have no way of knowing with the house 5 doors down if they've made the same upgrades or better upgrades, that it's a comp to their house, same bedroom, same number of bathrooms, same square footage. But this person has just as nice of renovations or upgrades as you do. So you kind of have to be very, very flexible with your agent when it comes to setting a realistic sales price. And I think that's probably the biggest hurdle that you have to get over.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. What other information should people know? Like if I'm coming to you and I have my letter, I'm ready to go, or if I kind of have an idea of what I want to sell my house for, what other information, because you don't know what you don't know. So educate us, whatever you feel like we should know as first-time home buyers or home sellers. I'm going to give you the floor and let you share that piece of information with us.
I'll put my binoculars on.
Okay. No problem. You look gorgeous in those glasses.
Oh, thank you so much. I just want to kind of look down my notes. If you're shopping for a house, of course, you want to give it a lot of thought. You want to come up with some prerequisites for a house, some things that you just really can't live without in a house, whether it be a fireplace, whether it be a deck or a covered patio. I mean, it is Texas. And so have a kind of an idea of what you really want in a house and things that you can't do without, like even down to a pantry in the kitchen. Some people don't know how important a pantry can be to a person that cooks.
Right.
So just kind of have an idea of the things that are important to you. The most important thing, too, I can tell a home buyer, first time or otherwise, is to always have your home inspected. Always.
What's the importance of that?
Well, because a lay person cannot look, most lay people can't look at a home and tell if it's in good structural shape. Foundations, things like that. If it's insect infested, termites. So always get a home inspected, even if it's a new build.
Really?
Yes.
Even a new build?
Even a new build, get your home inspected.
Okay.
And so I think that's the single most important thing. Some people want to scrimp on the inspection. They think the house looks good. It's not that old. I don't want to pay, the $500 or so for the inspection, but it will in the long run save you a lot of heartache.
Great. That is great advice right there. Anything else that you want to share before we wrap up our interview and just educate us on anything else that we may need to know that we don't know?
I wanted to tell the sellers also, when you're getting ready to sell, you can do a lot of inexpensive things to make your home more attractive.
Oh, yeah. So fixing it up and like, what do they call it? Staging your home inexpensively?
Staging is very important.
Okay.
To a home. Also, you can do a couple things yourself, like paint the front door. Okay, put a fresh coat of paint on the front door. That's the focal point of your home that people see from the outside. And if it's all weathered and looks old, it kind of stands out. So put a fresh coat of paint on the front door. Don't go crazy with the color. Don't go purple or anything like that.
Right.
You could also paint the foyer or the entryway. If you can't afford to paint the whole exterior, you can at least paint the foyer and the entryway. You can change the light fixture, the light switches, and get some nice updated light switches. Those don't cost very much. You can also change the electrical outlets. Sometimes those get kind of grimy and they don't look so good.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also upgrade your bath and kitchen fixtures. Just a new faucet makes a huge difference in a bathroom or a kitchen. And of course, don't forget the outside of your house. Plant some flowers, when you put your house up for sale. Something special with your garden. Make sure your lawn is manicured. I think if you do those tips, you'll be more likely to get your home off the market quickly.
Great. So if someone was going to go through the listing process with you, what does that process look like? How do they do that with you?
Well, first they have to call me. My cell number is 469-396-5226. Or the office phone number is 972-317-9586. Call me. We will sit down for a meeting. It would be better if there's a spouse or a significant other that's going to be on the deed that I meet both of you at the same time.
Okay.
I'll go over the listing agreement, what you can expect from me, what I will be looking to expect from you. We'll discuss things like open house. Are you agreeable to do an open house? Some people don't want signs in their yard, for sale signs. Some people don't want to be on the MLS. When you are not flexible enough to let your agent really market your property the best way they know how, which would be a sign, being on the MLS, and it's a great way to market your home during an open house. Let people come in, kind of picture what the house would look like if they moved in and that kind of thing. It also exposes a lot of buyers to you. So I think that you just kind of have to be flexible, you have to be open-minded, and you have to be willing to take suggestions from your realtor. They look out for your best interest. I, of course, would want to do everything to please my seller or my buyer, and I would go the extra mile to make sure that's done. My motto is exceeding expectations.
I love that. I want to thank you for being a guest today on Business Innovators Radio. And I would love if you could share with us again how someone can get in contact with you.
Okay, sure. Again, my name is Marilyn Tarver, and my last name is spelled T like Tom, A-R, V like Victor, E-R. I'm with Remax Cross Country. Remax is one of the leading realty companies in the world. We get 9 million hits a year on our Remax.net website, and we outsell the competition 2-1. Also, my direct dial number, again, is 469-396-5226, or you can reach me at 469-464-2663. I'll be happy to help you any way I can. I'm a native Dallasite, so I do know the city.
Yes.
And I'll be happy to show it to you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Marilyn. So anyone that would like help with the home buying or home selling process and you're in the DFW area, please get a hold of Marilyn. She will definitely take care of you and walk you through the home buying and home selling process. And we want to thank you for being a guest today. And we wish you nothing but success on your journey through your realtor career.
Thank you for having me, Jerica. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.